Hi, Stamper fans. I'm Nan Gerlitz, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Bloomington, Illinois, and I am here to help you connect with your people, whether that's gathering together to craft or you making handmade items to share with them. It's all about making and deepening those connections. So let's get to it. All righty. So we've got some fun things tonight, but I do want to first remind you it is July 29th, 2024, as I record this. And we've got a couple of days left to earn bonus days coupons. So if you're not familiar, if you've been living under a rock all month, you have until July 31st. For every $50 you spend before shipping and tax, you get a $5 coupon to spend in the month of August. So I have already earned several coupons. Hello, Penny. So glad you made it. So yes, definitely, if you have not placed an order yet, or if there's some things that you realized you forgot, you still have a couple of days to get those orders in so that you can get coupons to spend in August. Super fun. So I wanted to make sure to remind you all of that tonight since we are in the final days. Okay, now on to super fun things. I did forget to tell you guys, happy National Chicken Wing Day, apparently. Says the Stamper Man. So, and he would know about these kinds of things. Big chicken wing fan. So, so happy Chicken Wing Day, guys. Do you guys, yeah, like mild or do you like hot sauce on your chicken wings? Or do you not eat chicken wings? Let me know in the comments, okay? That'll be our little side discussion going on tonight. I like it. So I forgot this morning to announce the winner of Friday Night Stamping, and it was the alien card, which was mine. So, and that is also what we're going to be showing tonight. Penny likes hot, hot, hot. It's very funny. When I was pregnant with Cooper, so that was many, many years ago, I craved these particular chicken wings we used to get from a local place, and they were awesome. And we kind of swore that he was going to be, born and need fireproof diapers. And for the longest time, he didn't like spicy food. Now he does, but it was always so funny. Like, dude, you were like incubated on that. So thank you, Penny. Yeah, I did. I love how this turned out. So hopefully you guys will enjoy watching me craft through this tonight. I also wanted to let you know, how fun is that little side opening? That Russ's card again used the color combo from my weekly newsletter. And I believe he said he also adapted the sketch that was in that newsletter. So lots of good inspiration in those weekly newsletters that come to the emails. So if you are not getting my email newsletters yet, what are you waiting for? We've been talking about them. They're full of good stuff, including a color combo and a sketch illustration every week. They come out on Wednesdays. So there is a link to sign up for my email newsletter in the video description. And that's also right here. So if you want to get my free weekly emails, you can, of course, unsubscribe at any time if you feel like you're not getting value out of it. All righty. So on to the main event. So yes, this is my little alien card. A little something different today. Basically what I did, I was looking through stamp sets on Friday trying to figure out what to make because I had not an idea in my head. Russ does have it going on. And I was looking through and I thought, oh, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that, kind of basic ideas. And then I saw the Planted Paradise stamp set again. And I thought, oh, maybe I'll do something with this. And then I remembered when I first got this set, I saw these plants, leaves, whatever they're supposed to be, right? But they reminded me of, I think his name was Eduardo, who was one of the cartoon characters on Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. So if you've ever seen that cartoon, you will know who I'm talking about. He was hilarious, and he likes potatoes. That's neither here nor there. But anyway, they always reminded me of that. So I thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to do something with that. What can I do with it? And as I looked at the stamp set, because if you look at the regular stamp set, like open, These are reversible stamps, so they'll stamp solid on one side and then they'll leave the design on the other. But when you look at them like this, it's kind of hard to see them without the design in it, right? When you look at the front of the stamp case, or if you look in your catalog, they're pictured the same way, or online, you'll see the solid images here. And that's a little easier to be like, what else could I make out of that? Like this guy, you could probably work into a watermelon, I bet. But I thought, oh, I could make some kind of monster. Basically, as it went along, it became an alien. So, all righty. So let's get going on our little alien friend. As always, I have put the cardstock, the supply list and the cardstock measurements in the video description, so you don't need to furiously write down anything. We're starting with a standard card base of basic gray, because that seemed to go well with the granny apple green that I wanted for my monster. And we've got a few pieces of basic white, so really very few supplies tonight, which is really nice, right? Every once in a while, you're like, either I don't want to get everything out, or I'm just starting and I don't have a lot of stuff. You can make things with just a couple of colors, right? So we've got a little thin strip for our sentiment, and we have an inside piece that's a standard piece, and then this guy for our alien is 3.5 by 5. So he's a little smaller than regular. And really, I just cut him down after I stamped him, because I stamped him to the side. And I liked the way it turned out. So please feel free to use this layout on anything you'd like. So, and we're only using 2 stamp pads tonight, too. Super simple. Granny apple green, basic gray. Really, really easy. So first, let's just pop these guys open, shall we? Get some stuff out of the way. I've got a couple of different blocks, but you could easily do this with just the D block if you wanted. I like to have a smaller one when I'm working with smaller stamps, because then I don't rock them into the stuff and get extra ink everywhere. And we all know that that's a pain. I mean, with an alien, you could probably work that in somehow and just make it part of it. That would be a very forgiving design. I do have some other samples to show you at the end of the video. These are ones that you've probably previously seen, but they'll show you what the stamp set is supposed to make, quote unquote. And also a couple of other little ideas that I thought of out of the box. I know, the granny apple green. And I thought about it too, Betty, with the, when I was putting it up, I thought, ooh, maybe I'll win because it's granny apple green. And I did. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're going to take this. See, that's the only thing with the glass mat is the photopolymer stamps like to stick to it just as much as they do to the blocks. So I am sticking this on the solid side up. So that design you see is actually against the block. Okay. We are going to ink that all up in our granny apple green. We're going to give him a little space. Let's tap that a little more. There we go. Give him a little space for his feet. Nice. Uh-oh. Left my squeegee chamois guy upstairs. So no biggie. We'll just pop that off and leave it on the glass, and I'll clean those afterwards. Okay, now we need his head. Again, we've got the design part on the top and then solid on the back. So we're going to pop that on here. So we're stamping solid again. And with, I didn't show you this, but with big solid stamps like this, I like to do a little twist action first and then a couple of taps. And it seems to get a lot better full ink coverage because it's really tough with a just solid stamp like that. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Okay, so next let's give him some feet, and let's switch out our blocks to the smaller one because these blocks are a little smaller. So again, we've got a little pot, put it against there, that has some ridges in it. We're going to flip it over because it's reversible. And you'll see when I show you the other samples, why this was originally designed as a reversible stamp set. It's pretty cool, actually. I missed a spot. There we go. Photopolymer stamps, much easier to set right back down where you had them. I just have to be careful not to put my hand in all of those things that I'm putting down now. All right. So we've got two different horns. They both are reversible. They have the texture on one side, and maybe we'll give them texture this time. Why don't we do that? Instead of doing the solid, we will do, and actually, I can do them at the same time. So he's going to have the larger one on the opposite side this time. When I first saw these horns, like I said, I thought of Eduardo from the cartoon, but I also thought of carrots, and you'll see that later too when I show you a different sample. Okay, so this one's horns have some texture, which is cool. And then I used this skinny little guy for his arms, but I didn't want them to be like crazy long. So what I did instead, I did a little omitting, and I just eyeballed it on the edge of the pad. So I'm only inking up about half of that stamp. And then I can pop that right there. Voila, he's got a shorter arm. I mean, I guess it was going to go off the paper anyway, right? So I'll give him a shorter arm over there. He's all ready to give you a big hug. And then he needs a mouth. And I thought it was really crazy, kind of bacon-looking mouth. So that's one of these cool leaves. But we could give him a different one if you wanted tonight. Let's see. How about this guy, except upside down, so it's just solid? Let's try that. See what it looks like. Come on. And I did try this with a red ink pad as well. And the red did not turn out really great on the green. So that's why I went with the gray for the mouth still. And then we have this cool little circle that I will show you what it's meant for when I show you one of the other samples. But I just love it for eyes or for bubbles or lots of other different things. So make sure when you're looking at your stamps, you're not just looking at them just as intended. You want to look at what else can you do with them. Yeah, I like the horns better with the texture too. I'm really glad I thought of that. So cool. We got our guy all built, right? So now we need a sentiment. And you'll notice that this stamp set didn't have any sentiments. And I had a lot of different, I went through all the stamp sets I could, and I decided since his arms were out like that, we're going to pull out the hearts and hugs and say, I could just hug you, because that could be terrifying or lovely, depending on how you feel about aliens. Okay, so this is a cling stamp, so red rubber. So I'm going to use my little trick of lining my block up with my grid lines. And then I will line the bottom of that saying, the bottom line of the words, as best I can with one of the other grid lines. So now I can line my cardstock up with grid lines as well. Give that a little ink. And now when I go here, I can line up my block with grid lines again, and I get a straight sentiment. I love what that. I love, seriously, I don't think it's ever not worked on camera, and I'm so happy about that. Let's do our little inside piece as well. And for that, I actually used my little circle again. And I'm just going to, I've got some masking paper in there. I just want to make sure I don't have any gray on there since I don't have my cleaner with me. Because I just put a couple of green circles, like maybe there's a three-eyed monster watching you from the inside of the card. All right, that's all of our stamping. So he is pretty darn cute. I like him with the other mouth as well. What do you guys think? So lots of different possibilities in this stamp set. Okay, get that out of my way. So we have a couple of things to do. If you'll notice, we've got some splatter pattern around here because I felt like there was too much white space, but I also felt like I didn't really want to add too much of the other. Yeah, this mouth is terrifying. He's very anxious. Maybe he's got a final, exam or something, or a doctor's appointment. I don't know. This guy does seem a little sweeter. So what I did with the splatter pattern is I took our basic black blends. So we do have a dark and a light basic black. I'm going to take the light because it's a little more grayish, and since I used the gray, and I'm going to do a very gentle flick from the inside of the cap. And it's like you can't plan where this is going. Basically, I went all over my other card again. So you just kind of want to let it be. It's very much a however it goes, it goes. Good morning, Joan. Good evening from the US. So there is your cool little splatter pattern, which I felt was pretty cool for a monster, right? I do think I have paper towels right here because normally I would be cleaning off my glass mat right about now. Oh, see, look at that. We're all good. So that'll come off with water, but it won't come off on my paper, which is nice to know. Another new little fact. Okay, so that's your cool little trick with your blends. You do want to be very gentle so you don't ruin your tip, but it's a very cool way to add some texture without adding weight if you don't have a die cut machine, or maybe you just don't have it with you. All sorts of cool stuff you can do there. Okay, let's put him together before we add anything bumpy. So my seal is running out. I can see the red. But I did bring a refill over. So as I said, this one is slightly smaller, so we're going to have it off to the side, and it's going to have more green space over here, which I really like, that kind of off-center. I mean, he's an alien, right? So he's probably not all super neat and tidy. Although maybe they are. Maybe all aliens have OCD. Who knows? Pop our inside on, and we'll pop our front on. I know Penny's cringing right now because I didn't cut out the back of that green. But I just, I didn't have time because we went up to Chicago this past weekend to visit with the grandboys. So we got home, I don't know, around dinner time last night, had to throw that together. And then I went, okay, I have to just get ready for my live. And so I just kind of threw things together. Okay, so we're going to do our cool little slanty trick that my friend Lucia actually taught me. I try not to cringe too much. That's okay. I normally do try to save paper. So I'm going to just cut that at an angle, any angle, and then if you turn it around and you line this angle up with one of these lines on your trimmer, the angle you cut on the other side will be exactly the same. And that just makes my little heart happy because I like things to be like equal or even, or, if they're a little bit off, it kind of bugs me sometimes. I do not have OCD. I know I don't because I can let things go, but I am rather persnickety. Oh, I did, Gloria, with this alien card. I was just saying at the beginning that I completely forgot to post this morning. So I will take a snapshot with it and post that for tomorrow morning for anybody who did not tune in tonight. All right, and one last thing. So I was looking at his eyes and I felt like, okay, those need a little something, right? Like, do we want to color them in? Do I just want to put dots in the middle? I wasn't sure. So I looked through my embellishments and I happen to have these cool flat adhesive back pearls. And I thought they turned out really cool on my little alien. because they do kind of give them a little bit of a crazed look, right? Let's grab our little take your pick and we'll put in the center of his eyes. And they really pick up all the different lights. So it just kind of depends on, it's a little hypnotic. Like it's picking up my ring light right now. Ooh, you're getting sleepy. I promise, guys, not to hypnotize you. Go order Stampin' product. Okay. So that's the card we've got for you tonight. So a little different. We did the mouth a little different. We did his horns with some texture, which I really like how that turned out. But I told you I have some other things to show you with what you can do with this stamp set, both what you're supposed to do and other things that maybe you're not. So first we've got some plant cards. So like there's his feet, the way they're supposed to be used as a pot or their intended use. And we've got some cool leaves. And then we've got this guy. Oh, it turns out I don't have a sample with that circle. So that circle is supposed to be kind of like a macrame holder up top. You know how you've got the plant hangers and you'll hook them to a ceiling hook. And that's what that circle really is. You'd stamp it at the top of there. So this one, we've got some hanging plants in a regular pot. And then last Christmas time, there's my carrot. I made a cool little snowman wearing a cool little, kind of Scandinavian-ish sweater. So I just flipped that one around in the middle, but I did the solid top and bottom. We've got those same kind of arms. This pot became his hat. It was super simple. And these eyes, because I wanted them to look more like lumps of coal, they were actually made with the end of a pencil eraser. So if you just need dots, that's a great rubber stamp built into your pencil. Just know that you'll never be able to erase with it again once you've inked it up. You can clean it just like you would any other rubber stamp, but it's kind of your dedicated dot stamp now. And then the last out of the box idea I had, oh, this was a different stamp set. Oh, that's right. No, this was the same one. Sorry, I'm so confused. So this was the fish's body, the bottom, and then this leaf became his tail, and this one became the fin, and then we have the dots for the bubbles, of course, and then all of the different greenery down here as the like seaweed. And the cool thing, I did not have one to show you for that either, sorry about that, but the cool thing about, well, maybe this one is, about the fact that they're textured on one side and not on the other, is you can stamp the solid image in a lighter color, and I believe that's what I did here. I stamped it in the soft sea foam, and then I flipped it over to the textured side and did the darker old olive on top. So instead of just like a white background, you've got, you know, that color background in the back. So you can have kind of multi-shade plants and whatnot. All right, so there is all your cool examples there. There's actually one more thing I want to show you since, you know, we're running pretty good on time tonight. I do try to keep these around a half an hour or less. So, but I got together with a group of women here locally. They were having a little craft night. It was just like, bring whatever you're working on. Well, I had gotten my Scenic Journal travel kit, Scenic Travel Journal Kit, I think it's called. But anyway, I brought that along and started working on it. So this is the cover that I put together. And the cool thing about this kit is this binder is like a really pretty sturdy chipboard. It came with the elastic thing all incorporated in it. These are, some of them are stickers and some of them you have to, no, I think all of them were stickers actually, but they're like cardstock weight. So I was able, they've got, you know, a couple of sheets of alphabets. So I put together Alaska, and then that says June 2024. And then I've just started to put kind of the pages in. So basically, if you can see, they're all just in these elastic, you just slip them in. So I started with this, and I thought I could kind of journal about the Alaska trip, and then we've got some more stuff here. I'm waiting to put pictures in it to put more things kind of on it, but it came with these pockets that you could attach, and then there was some pockets already built in. Here was a cool thing, always say yes to new adventures. So those are some strips that came in, I think, 4 different languages, lots of different sayings and stuff that you could pick from. So I left that blank again. This is a nice fold out page, so I'll have more room for pictures and stories. Another cool pocket. And then this is on, so there's like 2 elastic bands. These are on that. Another cool pocket. And we've got our blue one. Cool pocket here and a fold out. And then that slanted pocket there and a back. So lots of space to put pictures. And I feel like, because I did tell you we have over 2,000 pictures from Alaska. So it will be kind of a highlights for sure. But if I need more, I can always use those dimensions from those pages to make more to slip in there. So it would be pretty easy to make a template out of any of these. So I did want to share that with you as well, since I got part of it done. The ladies were really excited to see it as well. So made some new crafting friends, and that was fun. Thanks, Penny. I like the variety on that one too. Lots of good ideas. And, you know, this was a stamp set that we got free, I think as a challenge, or maybe it was an event. I can't remember. But not one that I necessarily would have bought for myself. And when I saw it, I was like, okay, there's no sentiments. So I guess I'm just going to make some plant things. But the more I looked at it, the more I was like, wait, that's a carrot, that's a horn, that's, you know, whatever. So it's easy to come up with things that are not plant related with that. So my suggestion to you, let me flip the video. My suggestion to you is to always look at your catalog or online or your stamp cases and kind of look at things in a different way. And another way that you can help yourself is to turn them upside down, whether you're looking in the catalog or you're looking at a stamp case, or I suppose if you're looking online, you can stand on your head. But it's really helpful to turn things upside down or sideways and kind of be like, oh, now that looks like XYZ. And then you can really kind of get a better idea of what else you can do with some stamp sets. And it's not just these shape type ones, you know, there's lots of other things that become something else when you look at it in a different way, or you ink it in a different color than you normally would. That's another good kind of variation to do. So, all right. Thanks, Penny. Yeah, the journal is really cool. I'm very excited. It came out either right before or right after our trip. And I was like, oh, I'm immediately buying that because I'm so bad at scrapbooking and I want to start putting memory books together. So I thought that would be perfect for the trip. It would be specifically for that. And it would be a lot easier to kind of wrap my brain around. And so while it's still fresh and I've got all my notes, I can kind of journal and everything. All right, so that's all I have for you tonight. Thanks so much for joining me. If you've gotten inspiration or tips from this video, I would love it if you would share it so that your friends and family could also benefit from those things. Until next week, I'm still Nan Grillitz. Happy stamping.